Oh, y'all have no idea how much this warms my little heart and brightens my already dim day. Guess what I just found out on Willie D's channel? Steve Harvey's show is canceled. It's out of here. It's not coming back. At least I hope it is not. His last episode, his last new episode anyway, aired this past Thursday. Now, if y'all have been following my channel for a while now, last year, way into last year, and I will post the link down below, I called it. I said Steve Harvey's show was about to get canceled because Kelly Clarkson is about to get her own show. I actually saw the promo for her new show on a commercial somewhere. So I knew that he was about to get up out of there. We just didn't know when. So it's like, I hope I didn't jump the gun and I was incorrect, but it looks like I was not wrong. But it's basically saying that Steve Harvey's show is getting canceled because they couldn't come to like some kind of an agreement, or there was a lot of back and forth with NBC Universal and some other company, and they just said, you know what, let's just can the whole thing. But I remember there was an episode that Steve Harvey just recently did that rubbed a lot of people, especially a lot of black people, the wrong way. And I should have did a video on it, but you know what, at this point, why bother? It basically, he was just talking about how rich people don't sleep 8 hours a day, and if you sleep you're poor, and all types of stuff like that. That is a talking point that I've noticed a lot of people like to use towards a lot of black people. They don't really direct that talking point to a lot of other groups of people, only to us. And if you really look at the racial wealth gap and how wide it is with us versus other groups, especially the Caucasian group, you can't really throw that onto us, because if you know the history, you know why the wealth gap looks the way that it does. You would think that Steve Harvey would know that, but nope, he allows his white talking points just to flow right on through. But you know what? This is years of buildup of karma that is slamming down on Steve Harvey's Mr. Potato Head shaped ass. Because let's not forget all the stuff he has done in his career that has affected other people just to benefit him, like uprooting his show out of Chicago and not telling his staff that they were moving and they couldn't function. So a lot of them ended up losing their jobs, so they couldn't go with him and make that big move to California the way that he and some of his other handlers were able to do. So they were left pretty much out of a job. All those books that he wrote that was pretty much, in a way, when you think about it, was bashing men in order to uplift women, like that Think Like a Man, Act Like a Woman, Think Like a Man book. That's basically all it was, if you want to be technical about it. Then he had all them issues with his personal life, and then, oh, let's not forget him meeting with Donald Trump on his birthday. Ooh, that was the kicker right there, one of many. And you know, his wife had planned to have a birthday party for him on a yacht, and she was telling him, Steve, you could do that any other day, but why today? He literally missed out on a birthday party on his yacht, and I think he was turning 60, if I'm not mistaken, which is a pinnacle age for anybody to go talk to Donald Trump. And about what? To this day, we still don't know what that conversation was about, and at this point, we really don't care. It was probably a bunch of nothing anyway. Just like whenever he meets with any of these other so-called black leaders who are not leading nothing, to be quite honest, they couldn't leave a horse to hay, but they trying to say that they're black leaders. But anyway, also let's not forget the stuff that Bernie Mac has said about Steve Harvey, as far as the underhanded things that Steve Harvey has done, trying, to him before he passed. Rest in peace to Bernie Mac. So this is like I said, this is years of buildup coming Steve's way, and it's about time he's actually felt the sting. And one reason why I like doing videos like this involving Steve Harvey is because there's a plethora of images like the one you see on your screen. There's a plethora of images that you can find on Google of Steve crying like a big ass baby, where he is just crying for any old thing. Like Willie D said in his video, he said Steve is always crying because he's a big crybaby. He's always crying, whether it's a happy occasion, a sad occasion, or it's just that time of the month for him. Well, now he's about to be crying even harder because like he pretty much abandoned his radio show, as far as I know. Now he doesn't have this anymore. I can't remember the last film role that he has had or the last television show that was non-talk that he has been on or starred in or even guest starred in or voiceover project. None of that. It's like he put all his ducks into this show. He tried to become more mainstream. It's almost like he tried to become the next Montel Williams. I'm sorry. It's going to take more than a bald head and a mustache to be the next Montel Williams, Steve Harvey. Which, by the way, Montel also had himself, but he was more marketable with his. Maybe you should have kept the square-shaped toupee that you had on the Steve Harvey show back in the 90s. But this is exactly what he gets. Besides, Cedric the Entertainer was way more funnier on his show, on his own show, might I add, than Steve Harvey was. Now that's saying something. And what makes this funny, like I said, is he's getting replaced by a woman who has never hosted a talk show in her life. The most she's done is host award shows and music competitions. And even with music competition, she wasn't even the host. She was just one of the judges, to be quite honest. So that wasn't really hosting. Or Steve, was it you trying to compete with Ellen? After all, both of you were in NBC. Your show aired before hers, which means people saw you before her. But let's be real here. You're trying to compete against a white lesbian. They pretty much dubbed Ellen like the next Oprah. Like they was asking who's going to be the next queen of daytime talk. And they didn't never know for years, but I think they've given that title to her. But anyway, all's well that ends well, and this ended quite well indeed. Steve, y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'm going to allow Petty Debbie to take us out.